Ladies and gentlemen, hello, my name is Parker. Hope everyone is doing well here today. What we're going to be going over is the top 5 best guns currently in Call of Duty Mobile Battle Royale for Season 7. Now, it has been such a long time since when I last went and released a top 5 best guns list video here like this, but I feel like with the Season 7 update here and all the significant changes that they went and did to the Battle Royale, players should kind of go and shift over their play style a little bit. Like, let's say, for example, you were a very aggressive type of player, you might have to go and play a little bit more reserved here for this season. Now, I don't know how many people would go and agree with me in going and saying that, but at least for me, with the ability to now go and have an extra class added, such as the new Vision class, the Smart Shotgun, the B class going on, and even like that Fist one, all these brand new classes kind of make it more difficult for players that are a lot more aggressive. So I've kind of reflected the top 5 guns list here for this video to almost aid in a more passive type of play style. I'm not saying that you won't be able to go and rush whatsoever with these guns, but there are also some honorable mentions that can go and help for the more aggressive types of players. If you guys like the video, give it a like. If you're new, be sure to go and subscribe, but let's get right into it. So for the number 5 spot here, I have to give it to the QQ9. In my opinion, I feel like this is currently the best SMG in the Battle Royale. If you went and asked me last season, I probably would have said either the RUS or the CBR, but it's just something about the buff that the QQ9 received here for the season that makes it feel so good. There's some really good aim assist going on, especially when you're hip firing, so overall the hip fire for the gun, very solid. It's also probably the best up close weapon to go and use if you're more of like a casual type of player. Obviously, if you're amazing with the HSO shotty, then feel free, go and use the HSO, but QQ9 for an SMG, in my opinion, best up close gun to go and have. It has a great amount of ammo inside of it, as well as the damage up close is surprisingly very solid as well. And now for moving on to the number 4 spot here, we have the M4, which, oh, that's kind of perfect here. This gun is an aimbot gun. The COD devs recently have turned up the aim assist. They have turned that dial all the way up to 10, and this gun is absolutely insane. Just the latch on ability that this can go and do to enemies both at range and then up close is insane. Even if you plan on going in hip firing up close with someone, that aim assist will go and still kick on in, which is so insane for an AR. The only downside that I have to give to the M4 is just the damage. It's not as powerful as something like an AK-47 or really a lot of other LMGs, but considering for what it is, which it is like an aimbot gun here in which the aim assist is insane, it kind of balances itself out. So M4, definitely the best solid overall type of weapon to go and use here for the Battle Royale. Now for going on to the number 3 spot, I am so pumped up to go and talk about this because the M4 was originally supposed to go and have this spot, but then after going and using this gun more and more, I have to give it to the RPD, and more specifically, the RPD with the unlimited ammo attachment. Dude, like, what can I go and say? First off, unlimited ammo for a gun inside of Call of Duty Mobile is huge. Let's say, for example, you are coming back in on like a revive flight. Obviously, you're gonna have no loot here for your character, so if you can go and get a gun that has unlimited ammo and it's also very solid, the RPD is just such a no-brainer. That would be an instance in which you could go and use this and strive in. But then again, going further down the list here, it has high damage, which is also nice. I feel like LMGs are almost taking over this season here, but I think the RPD out of all the LMGs is probably the best to go with here. The recoil is not as bad as something like the PKM, for example. Recoil with PKM is absolutely insane, even though it also has a high damage, but RPD can go and handle it very smoothly. And something that completely surprised me with the RPD here too is how good it actually is up close. Like, I was going in railing some dudes with just going in hip firing it up close, and it actually went and worked out. So RPD, very solid gun. For the number 2 spot here, we have the AK-47, and what more can I go and say about this gun? Like, this gun has been the meta in Call of Duty Mobile Battle Royale for almost 2 2 years at this point. It is a great amount of damage, probably the highest damage in terms of a lot of the ARs here that we have. Great recoil control. It's pretty easy to go and use. Not as easy as something like the M4, but obviously AK-47 damage compared to M4 damage, significantly higher going on. There's a great amount of ammo that's also in the AK-47, which kind of allows you to go and kill more players, especially if you wanted to do something like solo versus squads. Technically, if you wanted to, you could go and wipe out a full team just while only going and using one clip. The only downside with AK-47 is that it's not as good as something like the M4 when it comes to close range gunfights, and also the hipfire isn't really the greatest. But overall, this is just such a solid gun, and there's a reason why this has been the meta for so long now. So now, before we go into the number 1 spot, I do have 3 honorable mentions here. The first one is going to be the Type 25, which this gun is so good up close and personal. Like, those up close to medium range gunfights, they're solid, but as you can go and see, just based off this build, it is very heavily layered on with the hipfire bullet spread accuracy here. So if you do want to go and use this, you guys will be surprised at actually how good this is. If you are a more aggressive player, this build is going to be pretty much perfect for you. Moving on to the next one, we have a sniper build. Let's just go and say, hey, you want to go and snipe? This M21 build has been so solid. I've been loving the M21 for the past couple seasons. I prefer M21 over something like the Arctic and DLQ just because it seems to give me more amount of success, especially the firing rate with this is so solid. And then moving on to the final one, which I don't personally go and use the HSO that much, but if you are a very good shotgun user, you're going to go and find a lot of success for yourself here with the HSO, especially for this season here. And then for coming in at the number 1 spot here, I have to give it to the Oden, man. Like, this assault rifle has the ability to go and 2-shot enemy players. It has such great recoil control on this, as well as for the build that I am going to go and show you guys here too. An extended mag would be recommended, but other than that, this build is like perfection. It has been my precious little baby here for the past couple seasons, and I don't know what to go and say. I thought that there was going to be an Oden nerf here last season, and now we're on to this season, and the Oden has been perfectly fine. So I don't know what else to go and say. This gun is the best gun currently in COD Mobile Battle Royale. But ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be the video here today. I would love to know what you guys thought about my gun here. Did you guys like my list? Did you not like my list? Is there something that you disagree with or agree with? Let me know in the comments down below, and I guess I'll talk to you guys in the next video.